Well, we can now cross to our correspondent Dave Keating in Brussels. Hello, Dave. We've just heard that the EU has published a no-deal contingency plan if the UK crashes out. What are the major takeaways from that?
Well, this plan mostly concerns transport, so it's dealing with trucks, shipping going back and forth, also reciprocal air and road connectivity, basically making sure planes aren't unable to take off in the sky in the UK because of no-deal Brexit, also reciprocal access to fishing rights, so fishing won't suddenly stop. It should be noted that this goes beyond the preparations that will be necessary just for regular Brexit. This is now going beyond and making preparations for the eventuality of a no-deal Brexit. The Commission has had these ready for some time, but has been reluctant to publish them. But it should be noted that they really did so begrudgingly today, and only because the countries of the EU demanded it. They had actually asked the Commission to do this a couple weeks ago at the previous EU summit. The Commission was very worried that publishing these contingency plans would send a signal that they considered the talks over. So the fact that they have published this morning is a really, really bad sign for the prospects of a deal, because the Commission was really intent on not publishing these until it was pretty sure that there wasn't going to be a deal. Ursula von der Leyen, in a statement upon publishing these, stressed that negotiations are still ongoing, but given that the end of the transition is very near, there is no guarantee that if and when an agreement is found, it can enter into force on time. Now, it should be noted that in the statement, along with the publication of these plans, it says that this will, quote, cater to the period during which there is no agreement in place. So that would mean it could cover an interim period if a deal has been agreed, it just hasn't been able to take effect by January 1st. Or, in theory, it could run out if the UK comes crawling back to the EU to try to negotiate a deal after, let's say, 3 months of chaos. Then it would end. If that doesn't happen, these do end at a fixed date. But again, this is a pretty bad sign for the Commission's thinking about how likely a no-deal Brexit is. And this isn't something the Commission wanted to do. It's something that the national capitals in the EU wanted to do, particularly those countries that are going to be most affected by Brexit, which is here in Belgium, Netherlands, and France.
Now, as you mentioned there, Dave, the EU wanted to hold off publishing that document. There has been a lot of pessimism from both sides. This new deadline on Sunday, these really are 11th hour negotiations. How likely are they to iron out their differences over the next 3 or 4 days?
Not very likely. It looks like that Sunday date was picked because the UK is hoping that at today's summit of EU prime ministers and presidents here in Brussels, they're arriving for that summit right now as we speak. The UK is hoping that they are going to get nervous there, and after von der Leyen briefs them about what Boris Johnson said last night, they will decide to change their red lines and their negotiating mandate. But everyone I've talked to thinks that's just basically impossible. It's not going to happen. We need to keenly watch what the prime ministers and presidents say right now as they're entering the European Council summit. If there's any sign of wavering on their part, any suggestion that they might be willing to reopen the negotiating mandate and change the red lines specifically on fisheries and most importantly on level playing field and governance. But barring that, it's hard to see how another couple of days could make any difference. So I think the assumption here right now is that we are headed toward no deal unless the UK decides to move and Boris Johnson decides to accept compromises and accept some kind of oversight or retaliatory mechanism on the question of level playing field. It just seems unlikely. It seems like if he was going to do that, he would have done it last night.
Thank you very much, Dave Keating, reporting for us there from Brussels.